Holy shit.
If we want to knock people on their asses, then we've got to give them a show. I'm talking like a stadium show in the clubs. The fans, they're dying for some anarchy. So let's give it to them.
I work for Electra Records. You guys like a record deal?
I had managed the Scorpions, Bon Jovi, Skid Row, Kiss, but I had never been through what Motley Crue put me through. I know it's not gonna be easy, but I believe in you guys.
Win it all or lose it all. We are Motley Crue.
Okay, boys, let's rock the
Shout! Shout! Shout at the devil! Woo! Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of
WTF.
I'm
Will, this is Trevor. Today we're going to talk about The Dirt, a Netflix original film based on the band.
Based on the book that was
Written by the band.
Yes, but it's based on a book that came out in 2001 that was written by the band as well as a journalist. I can't remember the name of the journalist.
Okay.
Basically, it's about the life and times of Motley Crue. What I can say about this movie is it was a trip down memory lane because when I was in grade like 10, I think, 8, 9, or 10 in high school, I actually went and saw Motley Crue, Theater of Pain, and I remember it vividly because Vince Neil came running out on stage like right at the beginning of the concert, and he accidentally fell into the concert, and it was like whoa! And now watching this movie, I kind of realized what kind of a state he probably was in the whole time that they were on tour.
High as
I think in the context of the film, it didn't have the right pacing. I think the pacing was off a little bit. I felt like they were just cramming so much information that you didn't have any time to sort of sympathize with the characters or take the trip with the characters.
They're trying to show a whole band's career in, like I said, an hour and a half. And yeah, the pacing is tough, but how else do you do it? I mean,
because if I was making the film, I would have just followed either closely on just one of the characters, or I would have just picked one particular time frame that they were in. Like I said, it's pretty impossible to make a movie that's really good that would cover all of that time period.
I think what you're saying is it would have been better as a miniseries.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Actually,
if they had done like a 6-part miniseries spanning their whole career over 15 years.
So remake it over a miniseries, and then,
But they could have touched. They could have done, or even 4-part series, like each episode, kind of one about Nikki Sixx, about Mick Mars, one about Tommy Lee, one about Vince Neil.
And they did touch on it. There was a couple parts in the film where they
break the fourth wall.
Broke the fourth wall, where they were saying, okay, normally this is what really happened. This was one character, this was another character, but we're not using this character in the movie, and then he kind of faded out.
And this is how we're going to do it for dramatization reasons. As a person just trying to get to know the band,
person that didn't know the band as much
as you did,
it
gave me a lot of information, and I was very impressed with how they did that in an hour and a half span, or hour and 45 minutes.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. And I thought the acting it wasn't bad, but it wasn't awesome. Like
Vince Neil's character was probably the weakest.
I thought Tommy Lee was a little weak at the beginning. Unless that was his character, he seemed like very immature.
He probably was a kid, right? They were right out of high school.
Yeah, I know, but it was.
But I thought Vince Neil's acting, like the character who played Vince Neil.
But I thought
it was but I thought it was weak throughout the whole film.
I thought at closer to the end when he was having the intimate moments with his daughter, I thought he was actually not bad. I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so he had like 2 minutes of actual good acting.
Yeah, exactly.
Well casted.
Yeah. Well, all of these actors aren't well-known actors, obviously.
Well, the character who plays
Iwan, what's his name? Iwan.
Ewan Rhodes.
That's the Nikki Sixx character?
Mick Mars.
Mick Mars.
He's in Game of Thrones, played Ramsay Bolton, the sinister Ramsay Bolton.
So he'd be the most well-known character, probably for a general public.
Yeah, and then obviously Tommy Lee was played by Machine Gun Kelly, which a lot of people out there know who he is. The actor who played Mick Mars is probably the best actor amongst them. Yeah. He's probably got the most experience and
he probably was a little bit older because his character was older anyway, so maybe, I don't know. I felt like the editing was very choppy. I felt like it was moving way too fast, or maybe I'm just getting older and I can't keep up with the way things are. I just felt like it was like I didn't have time to sympathize with any of the characters.
Well, like we said though, I mean, we had 4 main characters all trying to each get an equal part of the film.
So as a movie, Vince Neil and Nikki Sixx, I felt like those two had the biggest character arc, and so maybe if they had focused on them, I would have liked it a little bit more. It seemed like it was all over the place, that's all. Even though I was entertained, I was glad I watched it, because it was like taking a trip down memory lane, like I said, so it was entertaining, but it wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen, obviously. If you look at a movie like Star is Born, Bohemian Rhapsody, it's focusing on one main character and all of the trials and tribulations that they go through, and so you invest more time with one character, which makes you want to take the ride on the movie with them, consequently enjoying the movie better. So I think if it, like I said, if it focused just on one character and all these other guys were like secondary roles, I felt like I probably would have been more invested and probably would have liked it better. I felt like there was a couple scenes where they just threw in stuff where it felt like they were going, you know what, don't forget we want to put that part in where our manager had the tattoo that didn't say theater of pain.
But also too, I mean,
what significance was that to the story?
None. Right? But also, so like Bohemian Rhapsody was over 2 hours long. It was 2 hours and like 15 minutes, something like that. Where this is about an hour and a half, hour and 45. So maybe if they had included another half an hour of film, it would have been better. But
but all in all, it wasn't. I'm not saying it was horrible. It wasn't awesome. That's all.
Is it worth a watch? Do you recommend it to watch?
If you don't know anything about Motley Crue, it's definitely worth a watch for sure. What would I rate the film?
Yeah, what do you rate the film? What
are we rating it out
of? How many cocaine lines?
Well, that'll be a good one for Bill. Yeah, how many cocaine lines? I've never done drugs. I'm not a drug guy.
I've never done drugs.
But I would only give it, as a movie, I'd only give it probably 6. 6 lines out of 10.
See, that's where my perception comes in. Because I didn't grow up with Motley Crue, I came into it at a much, much later time, long after all that experience done. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was very informative and really got, a good in-depth look at the life and times of those band members. So I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I mean, truly, 8 lines out of 10. Because...
Well, you're going to be up for quite a while.
I know, right?
Any movies coming up this summer or whatever, this year?
No, it's a piece of shit year. Nothing else is good now.
Okay, so Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's coming out. I'm looking forward to that, obviously, Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, I'm a big Quentin Tarantino fan.
I'm a bigger Quentin Tarantino fan.
I'm even bigger because I'm bigger than you.
What are we talking about?
Seth Rogen's new film, The Good Boys.
Yeah,
that looks pretty awesome. Yeah. As well as, I'm sure we've touched
it's called The Good Boys?
The Good Boys.
So the kid that's in the TV or the movie The Room, who's super young, is obviously older now. He's one of the main characters in that.
Is that how kids, what happened to kids?
That's right. They get stuck in, that's right.
Weird. Did not.
What a douchebag.
Honestly, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, Disney's got their... Well.
Oh, actually, no. Dumbo looks actually not bad. It
doesn't look... Honestly, it looks terrible.
No, I think it looks pretty good.
Fucking terrible.
What are you talking about? It cinematically looks fantastic.
Cinematically. It looks terrible.
Why? What's terrible?
I know. I just see the previews and I have zero interest in seeing that film. It just looks...
It's probably going to make a lot of money, I think.
Well, I'm hoping
it's a Tim Burton movie, right?
Yeah, which is probably one of the reasons why I don't like it, because I don't typically like Tim Burton movies.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'm more looking forward to Aladdin and Lion King. Yeah. So I love the cartoons growing up.
Oh, and Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
Me too.
There's an anime.
I am looking forward to it, yes.
Yeah, that's quality, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it better be. Okay, well, thanks again for watching. What else are we going to say? How are we going to wrap this up?
We never did an outro. Alright, well, thanks again for watching another episode of WTF. I'm Will. This is Trevor.
Wait, that's an intro.
No,
we're doing an outro.
No, this is my
We don't have to mention our names, do we?
Why not?
Okay.
He's ruined it. He's ruined it. Perfectly good.
I know, because I always interrupt you. Sorry. Okay, thanks again for watching. What are we watching next week, Will?
I don't know. But you'll have to stay tuned to find out.